Hi, what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel once again. I am your host, Larry Downs, with another horror movie review presented by Nightmare Fuel Streaming. Today we are going to be talking about the 2019 horror movie anthology reboot of Creepshow streaming on Shudder. Now I know what you're thinking, hey, this is a series, this isn't a movie. Well, I really wanted to take the time to rant and rave about how much I enjoyed it. That's how much I enjoyed this series. Spent all weekend watching it, catching up on it, new season coming out pretty soon, and to also let you guys know about it if you haven't heard about it, so you can go check it out for yourselves and make your own opinion, because my opinion is that it's definitely worth the watch. And it's my channel, so I get to do whatever I want. So anyway, let's roll it. Creepshow 2019. Now, if the name Creepshow sounds familiar, it should. Creepshow was a 1982 horror movie anthology style directed by George Romero, written by Stephen King, and with special effects provided by Tom Savini. This powerhouse of horror royalty created a film which tells 5 different short stories in a style of honoring old school horror EC comics such as Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, and The Haunt of Fear. So yeah, if you're a horror fan and you haven't seen Creepshow yet, go find a corner of a room, rethink your life decisions, and plan out the rest of your evening, cancel all of your plans so you can watch Creepshow tonight. Creepshow has been brought back a couple times in the form of sequels and specials and stuff like that, but now we have a fancy new reboot in 2019. This is streaming exclusively on Shudder, and since I was a huge comic book fan growing up and love this particular style of storytelling, it was a no-brainer for me. This rendition, like I said before, is presented as a series with 1 season already done, and it's all streaming on Shudder. It currently has 6 episodes running at about 45 minutes apiece. Presented to us by Greg Nicotero, who has a horror rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt, each episode contains 2 short stories that are about 20 minutes each or so that almost every single time hit the nail on the head for the kind of style that they're going for. Just like the last installments of the series, there's a ton of celebrity guest appearances to look up for in here, not just popular celebrities, but horror movie icons as well. Let's go through some of them. Keith David, Kiefer Sutherland, David Arquette, Kid Cudi, Giancarlo Esposito, Adrienne Barbeau, Bruce Davidson, Joey King, Jeffrey Combs, Trisha Helfer, Ashley Lawrence, just to name a few. So now about the episodes, what do I think about them? At the beginning of each episode, we get a little snippet, a little skit of our favorite mascot, the Creep, as he's been called in previous installments, doing something devious and minimally related to the story that he's about to present to us. I love these little segments because with a host, it kind of creates this atmosphere which is necessary for this kind of series, even if he doesn't really do anything. It's fun to see the Creep, even if it's super uneventful, because honestly, like in Tales from the Crypt, the Crypt Keeper was my favorite part of the series, and really what kind of drove it and created the atmosphere for that show to be successful. It makes you feel like you're in an event, not just sitting absorbing TV for an hour or so to complain about it to your friends later. I mean, that's what I do most of the time anyway. After our creepy intro, we jump into a full-blown comic book style version of the show to set the stage for the terrors that await our characters of that particular story. This is done much heavier than its predecessors, and honestly, I actually really like it. It's just another thing that adds to the Creepshow aspect of this whole thing. Each story is written by someone new every single time, so it ensures that you're going to have a unique experience every single time you watch. Actually, 2 times every time you watch, since it's 2 unique stories in every one. Each one is written pretty well in my opinion too. Now these aren't like deep, drawn out thinker pieces. These are quick, to the point, fast, bloody, gory, just kind of scary stories. You know who the main focus of the story is, you know something terrible is going to happen to them because they're usually a terrible person doing something pretty terrible in the beginning of the story, and you know there's going to be a climax or so in the last 5 minutes of the story. This is the kind of style that we get from EC Comics, which is what Creepshow is an homage to, and if this isn't your particular style, then don't watch it, and honestly, don't read comic books, because that's the style. And based upon reading reviews, I can see that this style isn't for everyone. If you're going into this movie looking for character development, for a deep, drawn-out, thought-out story, for a box office budget, special effects, and more, you're in the wrong crypt. If you're going into this looking for just quick short stories that are super fun, pretty gory, and honestly contain all of the things that probably made you fall in love with horror, the same reason it made me fall in love with horror, then you're in the right spot. Other than one or two stories that were in Creepshow, I loved this series. I immediately, after watching the first episode, called my horror cronies and was ranting and raving about it, telling them that they need to be watching it. One of them telling me already, hey, you're behind, I've already been watching it. But it's just a fantastic series. I really loved it. It gives me plenty of variety as far as monsters, killers, etc., settings, whatever, and with each story only being about 20 minutes or so, it makes me feel good knowing that I can jump into it and, I don't have to 100% commit to watching that for the entire evening. If I don't like it after the first story, I can just turn it off. It's only 20 minutes of my time. Sometimes I spend 2 hours watching a movie that I absolutely can't stand and spend my whole night doing that. So I don't feel bad about investing 20 minutes of my time for a potential short story in Creepshow. And with both short stories in a collective episode only being 40 minutes, it's perfect for me if me and the wife decide to put it on at 8, 9, or 10 p.m. because I have a tendency to kind of fall asleep quicker and quicker as I get older. So it's right in the perfect time range for me for an episode. All in all, Creepshow was a smash hit for me, and I'll be looking forward to the new season coming out on Shudder April 1st. Thanks again for watching, and if you haven't already, make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. I am your host, Larry Downs, leader of the Nightmare Fuel streaming team. You can find us on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. We stoop to all of the lows for you guys. And feel free to hop onto any of our live chats that we do. We currently do live streams multiple times a week and talk our ears off. It's our favorite part about streaming is interacting with our community and hearing from you guys. So until next time, we'll see you on the channel.